Hi, this is Mr. Williamson, and this is Torso Prep Quiz number 4. Hopefully you've taken the other 3 and done well, or if not, you're at least planning to. There is obviously 2 other video lectures or discussions on the torso that you can take a look at if you don't understand this. For this quiz, I would have a piece of paper out so that you can take a look at write your answers down and see how you did. You can always pause the video between questions if you need to, so I'm going to kind of keep going. There's not going to be a long pause. Pause the video if you need to write your answers down. Remember, spelling doesn't count. It's an oral test, so you need to make sure you understand what it is, but make sure when you write the answer down you know what you're saying. So let's get started here. Here we go. The first question: what is this organ and what does it do? The question is, what is the organ and what does it do? Again, pause the video if you need to write your answers down and think about it, but I'm going to keep going. A couple other questions about this you might want to make sure you understand or know. The substances that are in it, where do they come from and where do they go? So, next question. All right, we're looking at the inside of the torso, and we want to know, what is this organ and what does it do? Okay, what is this organ and what does it do? And again, pause the video if you need to, but we're going to move on now. Next question. Again, same part of the torso, and what is this organ and what does it do? What is this organ and what does it do? Obviously, it looks like a tube, so you might also want to be able to answer, where does it come from, anything inside of it come from, and where does it go? Okay. Next question. Same torso. What is this and what does it do? What is it and what does it do? Same type question. Make sure you can answer where anything inside of it goes and anything that's inside of it comes from. So you want to make sure you know that the system and the order of the process. All right, next question. What is this organ and what does it do? What is the organ and what does it do? All right, next question. What is this organ and what does it do? And anything that it might have to do with, again, make sure you know the process and the order of things. But what is it and what does it do? All right. What is that organ down there and what does it do? Again, this is a process, so you probably want to make sure you understand where does it anything in it go and where does it come from. So, but the question is, what is it and what does it do? All right, next question. What is this and what does it do? What is it and what does it do? Again, it's a process. Where does anything inside of it go? Where does it come from? But what is it? What does it do? Next question. Now, this isn't really necessarily no, but it is a question to kind of expand your knowledge. And what is it and what does it do? Or maybe what did it do? What is it and what does it do? What is it and what does it do? And what is it and what does it do? Again, process. Where does it come from? Where does it go? But most importantly, what is it and what does it do? All right. Let's talk about the answers now. So got everything down? Again, hopefully you answered them all. If not, go back. You can always go back in the video. But let's take a look at the answers. The first question asks, what is it and what does it do? And it's the stomach. Okay, so it stores and sterilizes food. The food enters here from the esophagus and goes out down here. It's on the other side, down to the small intestine, the duodenum to be precise. And the duodenum neutralizes the stomach acid that's produced in here. But this is basically storage and sterilization. Sterilize, spell that there. But storage sterilizes the stomach. Next question is, What is this organ? And it is the pancreas. Pancreas. Okay. The pancreas produces insulin. Okay. Insulin is used by the cells to bring in glucose for respiration. But that's basically just pancreas. It makes insulin. What is it and what's it do? This is the duodenum. We just talked about this. It is the stomach, which would be up in this area up here. Would take the food and it would go down there. And this is a real strong acid, hydrochloric acid. It's a pH of 1 or 2, very, very low on the pH scale. But we need to neutralize that, and that's what happens here. The food comes out, or the slurry of liquid and the food that's been processed goes down here, and the acid is neutralized. It's moved up more to a 7.0. I think it's actually a little higher, a little lower. It's right around 7.0, and it goes down into the small intestine, so that the stomach acid doesn't corrode the small intestine. But that would be the duodenum. You could say it's the small intestine, but I would be more happy if you said it was the duodenum, the very first part of the small intestine. All right. Next question is, what is this? And that's the large intestine. And large intestine is the site of nutrient absorption. Water absorption. My bad. Though it basically is going to remove the water. It's not the nutrients. Nutrients are taken out down the small intestine. So we've taken out all the nutrients in the small intestine down here, and now we need to package up the waste, or whatever's left. And we do that by removing the water from the leftover, and that's where you absorb water when you're like dehydrated, and then it's packaged up into the fecal material, or the poop that you get rid of when you go to the bathroom. So that's just the large intestine. What is this? And this is the spleen. The spleen is the site of red blood cell production and absorption, and it also helps in the immune system. It basically reproduces red blood cells, RBCs, and we do that about once every 30 days. We recycle or remake all of our blood. Every day we're making about 1/30 of our blood, and it's the blood that's old is absorbed back into the spleen. And then it also makes new red blood cells. But the spleen is blood cell production, and helps the immune system. This one is the kidney. The kidney is the site of waste removal and water homeostasis. It's going to remove the waste and the nitrogenous waste from the cell metabolism. The cell's just doing their cell thing, produce nitrogen waste and other things. Break down products of toxins and things like that. They're all going to be pulled out of the kidney, and it's also going to regulate the water. If you have too much water, it's going to pull a lot more out. You urinate more, your urine would be clear. If you don't have enough water, it doesn't pull as much water out. It tries to save some of that water, and your urine would become more concentrated. But it's the kidney. It's for waste removal and water homeostasis. The small intestine. Small intestine is the site of nutrient absorption, and it's where you've eaten, everything's been stored in your stomach. It goes into the duodenum, which is the first 6 inches, maybe 9 inches of the small intestine, and then the small intestine is nutrient absorption, and that's where all the nutrients are brought into the blood system. The small intestine is about 18 feet long. It's a long tube, so there's a lot of space for the nutrients to be absorbed and brought into your blood, so you can get as much nutrients as possible out from the small intestine and from the food you eat to get the glucose and the energy you need. Okay, this one down here is the rectum, or the start of the rectum. Okay, and that's where the fecal material is stored. You could also call it part of the large intestine, because the large intestine kind of goes up this way. It transverses over here. It goes behind this layer of fat, back down here, and it attaches down into the small intestine. But so you could say it's large intestine. but I would prefer rectum if you're going to look at it. It's the inside of the very last part of the large intestine. That's where the fecal material is stored. Okay, this one is the one that you didn't need to know. It's not really on the list, but it's the appendix. And I'll probably spell this appendix. I think that appendix. I think it's like that. I probably spelled that wrong. But the appendix used to be, it's a vestigial organ. It's an organ that we no longer use, and we've kind of lost the use of it through evolution. But this used to be where we digested grasses and things like that when we ate them. As we talked about in the evolution unit, again, it's a vestigial organ. It's an organ we don't use anymore. But I just wanted to show you that there it is on the model. This organ is, again, the back of the pancreas. The pancreas is, again, the site of insulin production, and we talked about that earlier. So the pancreas is just a different view. See if you knew what you're looking at. So this organ is, again, we've talked about this also, is the duodenum. Duodenum, there we go. And it is the very first 6 inches, 9 inches of the small intestine, and it would come out, the stomach would be up here, and it would come down this way and go back up into the small intestine, which is all back behind all this muscle. And the small intestine is where the nutrients are absorbed, but the duodenum is the neutralization of acid, just like we talked about earlier. And that concludes this prep quiz. Hopefully you did well. If you didn't, make sure you go back and visit the videos, part 1 and part 2 in the torso discussion. Consult your packet or ask me in class. I hope you're preparing for the test. Hope you're doing well. See you on test day. Good luck.